Let me ask you something. Are you just drowning in digital busy work? Constantly switching between a million apps just to get one simple thing done? Well, we're about to look at a tool that's becoming a secret weapon for creators and small teams who are facing that exact problem. It's called Kortix, and it basically gives you a personal AI agent to finally conquer all the repetitive parts of your job. But first, let's set the stage and talk about the problem it's trying to solve. I like to call it the automation trap. You know the feeling, right? You've got a tool for your calendar, another one for social media, one for project management, and then maybe a couple more just to glue them all together. And suddenly, you realize you're spending more time managing your tools than actually doing the work they were supposed to save you from. No, seriously. Take a second and think about it. How many tabs do you have open right now? If you're anything like me, the answer is way too many. We've all become these expert digital jugglers, but let's be honest, it's exhausting, and it is just deeply inefficient.
And here's the absolute heart of the issue. Automation was supposed to free us up to do more creative, important work. But way too often, setting up these complicated workflows feels like you have to learn a new programming language. You're just trading one kind of busy work for another. It kind of defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it?
So what's the alternative here? Instead of these rigid step-by-step recipes that break if one little thing changes, what if you had an intelligent assistant? An AI agent that could actually understand your instructions and handle tasks across all your different apps dynamically. That is exactly what Kortix is. It's a no-code platform that lets you build your very own AI agent. The best way to think about it is like creating a digital employee that you can train to handle all those tedious, repetitive tasks you'd really rather not do yourself. And it is really, really striking a chord with some specific groups. Solopreneurs and creators, for instance, they love it for automating content distribution. Marketers and small agencies are using it for things like lead generation and personalized outreach, and they're saving hours every single week. It's really designed for those small, nimble teams that need to punch way above their weight class. Okay, but how easy is it to actually build one of these things? This is where it gets really interesting. The whole idea behind it is accessibility. You do not need to be a tech wizard or have a technical background to create your first agent. The whole process is broken down into 3 pretty simple steps. First, you just connect your apps. The usual suspects, like Google Workspace, Slack, or Notion. Second, you give the agent instructions, and you do this using a visual drag-and-drop builder and just plain English commands. It's pretty cool. Finally, you monitor everything from a dashboard, where you can literally watch your agent get to work in real time. So let's break down what really makes this thing so powerful. The natural language commands, total game changer. You can literally just tell it, hey, when a new lead comes in, go find their LinkedIn profile and then add it to my Notion database. Simple as that. Plus, you can have multiple agents working together on more complex tasks. And for anyone who's rightly concerned about data, they have really strong privacy options, including the ability to host it all yourself. Okay, so that all sounds great on paper, right? But what does it actually mean in practice? What kind of real-world results are people actually getting with this? This quote from a user review really just says it all. Instead of having to chain together 3, 4, even 5 different automations in another tool, which, as you know, can be super brittle and hard to fix when they break, users are replacing that whole complicated mess with a single, smarter agent in Kortix. It's a huge shift from complex connections to just consolidated intelligence. Just take a look at some of these examples. Imagine this. You could have an agent that monitors your content calendar, and every time a new blog post is marked published, it automatically generates 5 different tweets and schedules them for you. Or how about an agent that takes a super long meeting transcript, creates a perfect, concise summary with action items, and then posts it to the right Slack channel? I mean, the possibilities here are just huge. But, of course, no tool is perfect. And to give you the full picture, we've got to take a balanced, honest look at where Kortix really shines, and maybe where it still has a little bit of room to grow. So the pros are pretty clear. It's highly flexible, you've got those strong privacy options, and the time savings are very, very real. Now, on the flip side, the cons, well, the template library is still growing, so you might need to build more of your automations from scratch. And while the simple setups are a total breeze, the really complex workflows can come with a bit of a learning curve. But even with those minor growing pains, the user sentiment is overwhelmingly positive. I mean, a 4.6 out of 5 is a fantastic score. And users are specifically calling out its flexibility and just the sheer amount of manual, boring work it takes right off their plate. So, I'll just leave you with this one question. If you had an intelligent digital assistant ready to go, working for you 24/7,
What is that one tedious, repetitive, mind-numbing task you would hand over to it first? Really think about it, because that future of automation, well, it's getting a whole lot closer than you might think.